Hello everybody, I'm Bonita Summers with Spirit Kelowna Wellness. As well as being a life and business coach, I'm also a yin yoga instructor. And I'd like to offer some stretches that can benefit all of us as we're doing the squat challenge. The first pose is diamond pose, soles of the feet together, and they're far enough away from the body to create a diamond shape with the legs. A lot of people, when they do this pose, the first thing they do is pull their feet in. But what that does is activate the muscles. And we're looking here not to activate muscles, but to stretch connective tissue. Yang style yoga, which involves a lot of standing poses, or any yang activity, tends to be about strength, balance, building muscles. Yin is about stretching the connective tissue instead. And when we do both, our bodies come into a state of balance. So in yin yoga, we're usually holding the poses for 5 minutes at a time. And that might sound a little crazy, but you're not standing, so it's not so bad. The idea is to give your body enough time for all those tangled up connective tissue fibers to straighten out. So in this pose, there's a number of different ways to do it. You may find that you like to have a bolster and rest your forehead on the bolster like so. If you find that it's not very easy for you to drop forward in the pose. Some people like to put the bolster here and rest their hands on it and rest their forehead on the hands. That's another option. If your knees are feeling quite tight, and mine's quite a large bolster compared to most, but you get the idea. You can rest it under the knees and drop forward, just allowing your body again to relax. The whole reason we use a lot of props in yin yoga is to give your body the idea that it should let go. When the muscles tighten because they're trying to keep you from going too deep into the pose, it's actually fighting the stretch. So if you do need to use any props, please do so just to allow the body to move deeper into the pose. And if you find you are able to drop forward quite comfortably and you're quite close to the feet, if you want to get a little deeper into the pose, you can lift your feet, place your hands palms down, one on top of the other, so my hands are like this underneath the feet, and drop even lower. So that's one way you can get a little bit of a stretch on after your experience with the squats. Another thing you can do, I'm going to show it from the side, is called West Stretch. The legs are straight, but rather than pull deeply into the stretch like we would in a yang style pose, we're going to let the legs be soft. Let the knees bob up a little bit, so as you drop forward, it's okay for the knees to relax. You may even want to put a towel underneath the knees if they need a little bit of support. Hands or palms up to remind the arms not to do any extra work, and let the head hang. And because you're here for 5 minutes, you may find as you drop lower, the thighs will start to let go, the knees will drop down more as well, the head will relax even closer to the legs. If you find when you're trying to do this, you're more in this position and it's really hard for you to drop forward, sometimes that's about flexibility, sometimes it's just the way our hips are built. If you take a thick blanket or a low block and put it underneath the buttocks, you're going to find that will tilt the pelvis into the right position to make it easier for you to drop forward. Another one of my favorite poses, just to get a nice little massage into those hip flexors, is crab pose. So you bring your feet apart, they should be flat on the ground, and just drop into your crab. I'm going to show you a number of versions here that do different things for the body. And this is one of my favorite poses because it's just a lot of fun. So you can just drop into it like this, start to work with that massage into the hip flexors, or bring the arms underneath, wrap the hands around the ankles and really pull into your crab. Now that's a little bit yangy, but it's, again, a great sensation in the hip flexors. If you're here and over the 5 minutes it gets to be too easy, then you want to work your edge. And what I mean by that is in yin style yoga, we never want to feel like the pose is too easy because that means we're not stretching the connective tissues very much. We also don't want to be praying for the pose to be over because then the muscles are going to tense up and fight the pose. So if you're in a pose for 5 minutes and it starts to get really comfortable, relax down, all the way down, resting the forehead on the mat. So the forehead coming down, the arms are straight out underneath the legs. This is what I call flattening out your crab, like so. Another option is to bring the arms underneath, flex the hands, pop the feet up, and this is a nice little stretch in the shoulders. So the hands are flexed, the feet are flexed, and you could probably stay here all day once you get the hang of this pose. Another way to do it is to take 2 fingers and wrap them underneath your big toes. And there's a reason why I suggest you do the pose this way. A lot of times people grab their feet like so, but you'll notice that's immediately rounding your shoulders, popping your back out, and it's going to make it much more difficult to come into this pose. We're going to be lifting the legs up to get a back line stretch. So 2 fingers underneath the big toes. And one way of getting into this pose, especially if you're not confident about balancing on your sits bones, is just to rock back till you're sitting on those sits bones. So you are right now essentially in the pose. And then to keep stability, keep the shoulders back, the chest forward, so you've got a nice flat back. Press the toe into the fingers to stabilize. Lift one leg, lift the other leg. Shoulders are back, chest is forward. Nice back line stretch. Relaxing those legs deeper and deeper into straight legs. You should feel the stretch all the way up to the ankles. This feels beautiful. And breathe deeply, because a deep breath tells your autonomic nervous system that everything's okay. You can hang out here, you can relax. It tells your body to let go and stretch even more. And when you're finished with the stretch, plant your feet down, rocking the knees back and forth and windshield wipers. Nice sensation into those hip flexors. You want to go a little deeper, you want to open up the back some more, straighten out the legs, lift the chest, nice flat back, and just start to crawl forward, getting another back line stretch in the back of the legs. Remember, you've got 5 minutes, so you can take your time coming down onto your elbows. If your body's not ready to drop that far forward, rest your elbows on a bolster. Take your time, relax. You've got all the time in the world to drop deeper. And remember, it's not about how far you get. It's really about listening to your body and what it's ready to do today. We don't push so hard that our body recoils and tightens from the pose. We don't make it so easy that we're really not getting a good stretch. Your body will tell you where you need to go with this. And if you are ready to go without the bolster and rest down, remember to keep the arms soft, shoulders are back, chest is forward, nice flat back. It's okay for the knees to want to bounce up a little bit. Just watch your feet don't roll forward. And just allow yourself to enjoy that beautiful back line stretch. And when you come up, come into easy pose, and you may want to finish off with a little spinal twist, like so. Make sure when you twist, you're nice and straight. Lift the body up, twisting not at the hips, but at the waist, shoulders, and if it's comfortable, the head as well. Exhale into the twist to go even deeper, and the other way. Continue to exhale after your inhalation and go even deeper. And that's a good little way of just opening up your body after your squats. Just take any of the poses that you feel will work for you. Listen to your body, it will tell you what it wants. And thanks again, Rhonda, for getting us all into the squat challenge. I'm really looking forward to following along with everybody and just enjoying getting ourselves ready for a healthy and active fall season. See you all again soon.